Good morning. Welcome to InsurTech Connect 2019. My name is Guy Fraker. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer at Insurance Thought Leadership, and I'm very fortunate this morning to be here with Steve Bernardez from Avanta Ventures, and we're going to continue talking about how Avanta Ventures, an accelerator, is supporting InsurTechs in the insurance industry. Steve, you, just to jump right in, you joined the team how long after Avanta was formed?
I joined about less than 6 months after it was formed.
Okay. And if you can, give me a little bit about your background prior to joining Avanta.
So prior to Avanta, I had 13 years of institutional venture capital experience, early stage, mostly enterprise software, either infrastructure or application. I also had stints at startup company, Microsoft, Accenture, and Citibank.
Impressive. What have you found to be both a plus and sometimes a challenge in coming into insurance venture capital, which is new in and of itself for all intents and purposes, from outside the industry?
One, there is a learning curve. Insurance has been around a long time. And so with arcane regulation and interesting ways of doing things that in many cases insurtechs are coming in and disrupting throughout the value chain. So the hard part is the existing momentum. The interesting part is what new interesting startups are doing to disrupt, disintermediate, or just invent around the business models up and down the value chain.
One of the things that has impressed me in my exposure to Avanta has been the insurance industry has a tendency to get somebody to launch an idea and go off and kind of build it. And because we hire and cultivate leaders to make decisions, whereas with your team, you really take a team approach to vetting these new companies, which I think not only drives a faster pace, but a much higher quality result. Has that been the case?
It has been the case. So our team brings a mix of backgrounds and experiences to the table, but mostly on the venture side, less so on the insurance side. The wonderful thing is we're part of the CSAA, so we can leverage business operations folks from underwriting to product to claims management to look at some of the companies that we're evaluating, and they can give us the nuances from an insurance perspective that combines with our venture backgrounds.
Fantastic. One of my favorite phrases in insurance innovation is, in order to think out of the box, you have to build a box to think out of. And that means not boiling the ocean, and constraints drive innovation. I've been also very impressed with the way you've set up certain themes rather than just listening to countless pitches that may be irrelevant to your goals. If you don't mind, can you share what some of those themes are?
Sure. You're absolutely right. Focus is critical. Deal flow could be thousands of companies per year that may or may not be relevant to us. So we need to put out a brand that communicates our themes, and hopefully that will make us more efficient at what we do. Our primary theme is in and around InsurTech. It's probably obvious. We're in CSA as an insurance company. We need to make our own processes more efficient, or we need to look at new opportunities for CSAA in areas outside its traditional areas. The next area is around mobility. So CSAA sells auto insurance. In fact, 75% of our business is in and around auto insurance. Mm-hmm. So we need to understand what's going on with autonomous vehicles, with ride sharing, with other new innovations around both business models and technology that are going to affect or impact our auto insurance business. Lastly, within insurance, there's lots of opportunities for products to be sold ancillary to the insurance sale. They may have a trust component. Things could be around identity management or cybersecurity or even wealth management. All those areas would be relevant, and there's lots of innovation in and around those spaces.
So this is let me ask one exploratory question about that. And then I want to talk about your relationship with CSAA. Investing in those themes, also, does it not give you a peek into the road signs that are going to somewhat determine the future?
That is certainly the hope, and that's actually probably the primary reason for Avanta Ventures to exist. We're a fund of a certain size, and are we going to impact the overall financial well-being of CSAA? Probably not. But what we can do is provide insight into the horizon. We need to be able to in-source innovation into the company, help the company be more agile as it prepares for changes in the market and for things that startup companies are bringing to bear.
So I hadn't thought about it the way you just described it, so you really serve a strategic planning purpose as well.
That's the hope. We want to be a spyglass into the future that can help inform that strategic planning process.
I know that you will bring, particularly InsurTechs, into the mothership, so to speak, and expose subject matter experts to these startups as part of your vetting process. And I find that a very impressive way of getting a snapshot into the potential adoption and actual B2B use for some of these.
Absolutely.
You have anything you want to share about how you got started doing that and what the results have been?
So the way we got started doing it is we realized we needed to have the expertise of the mothership of CSAA to get to some of the nuances of some of these companies, either their technology or their business model. And it serves, usually that conversation serves to be mutually beneficial for both the startup and CSAA. CSAA gets to understand what's going on out there, and they can provide important feedback to the startup company in terms of this is how you should think about what a customer really needs. These are the pain points that we have that they should think about as they refine their product roadmap and the features and functions that they're going to offer. In terms of kind of the real world examples of that, in some cases, we've actually invested in some of these companies. So for example, we have an investment in a company called Cape Analytics. We're doing a pilot with them right now, looking at using their ability to use computer vision to analyze roofs. So they can understand roof composition, roof age, roof level of repair or disrepair. They can see whether or not you've cut the greenery around your home, so it's not as much of a fire danger. That's interesting to us in terms of what that could mean for writing home policies or even sending out inspectors.
Well, certainly it'd be sensitive given CSA's location to the wildfire issues. So,
that is a challenge for CSA.
Yeah.
We write a lot of home policies in Northern California, and we're coming on the season. So.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. I have appreciated the time we've had to work together before, and I really appreciate you stopping by for us to be able to interview you here, and we wish you the best.
Thanks, Guy.
Thank you,
Steve.
Steve.